Big old smile on that face. Welcome back to We're Not Really Here. Joining me to talk about that game, Joleon Lescott, Michael Brown and Paul Dickov. Big score at the Emirates, wasn't it, James?
It's interesting you mentioned the score, Cal.
We do predictions, don't we? And the foresight of, former professionals, not quite on the money. The presenter, though, 4-1. They couldn't find the clip in the gallery, but just to affirm, I called it. We remember that?
No, I don't.
No? Top of the scoreboard.
Don't think I'm talking about it,
mate. Let I tell you what though, we were hoping for a reaction in that second half, Michael. It came, and we also had the goals to back it up as well.
Well, it did, and that's what we needed. Some opportunities, a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune on a couple of mistakes that we've seen, but ultimately it was a really, really strong second half performance, convincing, controlling, and we've seen a bit of flair and some great passes, some great movement, and I think it was needed that second half. I think just to get some goals, as we said in the build up to it, get some goals, get some confidence, and minutes on the pitch, and again go through to the semi-final, which looks like has a great chance again for City to progress to the final.
Really does. I think that draw will happen after the games tomorrow. Joleon, how much of it do you think was it that City were really good and firing, and also that Arsenal maybe didn't come out and bring as much of a game in that second half?
No, I think you can expect, in the greatest respect, you can expect that performance from Arsenal. They haven't been performing that well. So you've got to give a lot of credit, all the credit to Man City. Second half, as Bruyne touched on there, it was controlling, it was dominant, it wasn't kind of anything we haven't seen before. It was just a professional performance in the second half. And obviously, Arsenal scored in the first half, but there was no chance really apart from a save later on from Zach Stefan. That was a minimal chance for Arsenal to score.
Paul, we've got kind of 3 goals that we can get stuck into there. We had the first goal scorer in Gabriel Jesus, and then they equalised. Riyad Mahrez, though, came through there. It was a free kick. Very unlucky for the keeper.
It was, but look, the performance tonight's been no different really from a lot of the performance recently. We said at the start, sometimes you need that little bit of luck, when you're taking your chances, and we got that with the free kick. Mahrez has hit the target. Runarson's had an absolute nightmare. He's got to save that. It's on his side and it's straight at him. But you hit the target. You don't shoot, you don't score, is the old adage. And then from then on, it was only going to be one winner. City dominating from start to finish, creating chances and another couple of goals.
Really were in cruise control, and we can look at the other goals in just a second, but we can hear from that goal scorer now. This is Riyad Mahrez speaking at full time at the Emirates.
Riyad, many congratulations. You're into the semi-finals yet again. What did you make of the performance tonight?
No, I think it was a solid performance. We started good and then they equalized. And in second half we scored with the lucky free kick. And we put the third one and it was more easy for us after.
You were 1-0 up, you were so dominant, and then suddenly Arsenal got back into it, almost out of the blue. Was the manager a bit frustrated at half-time? Were you frustrated?
No, sometimes it's like this. We cannot always dominate every game. We was good, but we didn't score the second one, so when you don't score the second one, you always... they can score at any time, so... but in second half, we scored the second and the third, and... then we make it more easy for us.
Were you as surprised as anybody when your shot went in?
Yeah, I was surprised at the position of the keeper. He was very so close to the post. I thought he was going to move a little bit, that's why I tried to put it there, but he didn't move. And luckily, he didn't catch it properly, so it's good for us.
The team have struggled for goals, haven't they, which is surprising. So 4 tonight, that's just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, we're a bit struggling, but it's football. I think we're going to come back to... It's not easy to always score 4 or 5 goals, even if it's always been our standard. But today we scored 4 goals, we conceded 1. I think it's a solid performance, yeah.
Well done today. You are the Carabao man of the match. If you'd like to do your own presentation, please.
Oh, thank you.
Well done.
Cheers, guys.
Riyad Mahrez presenting himself with man of the match. 'Tis the season, isn't it? But we spoke about that, and you mentioned it, Michael. That second goal is so crucial in games, and I guess we could look back on games so far in the season. I think of West Brom as much as the thing in other areas we could have done better. But other games like that, where if we'd got the second, probably would have played out differently.
Yeah, there's been lots of games where City have completely dominated, created opportunities, not managed to get it over the line. So yes, there was a mistake, and So Riyad Mahrez there was honest. He thought the goalkeeper Runnison would move. He didn't. He should have done better. And I think that was the lift that everybody wanted. And from then on, it was so comfortable. We've seen great runs, forward runs. Phil Foden from the third goal. Fernandinho driving with the ball on the third goal. It wasn't just a case of, right, pass it to your teammate next to you. It's trying to make things happen. I think from the second, comfortable. And then on, wonderful finish from Phil Foden. That's a really, really tough finish. And yeah, then great. And Laporte, we questioned him in the first half about conceding goals. I think that's 7 away goals for him now. And just keeps being a threat from set pieces. I think that's something City have missed, an aerial domination from corners and free kicks.
I know they were there. If it wasn't going to be Laporte, it was going to be Diaz. For Laporte, how much do you think that goal will mean? And also then, after that kind of course, little bit of a mistake, complete performance in the second half for you, Joleon?
Yeah, definitely. A lot more comfortable defensively, and obviously we would have been disappointed with conceding any goal and feeling he could have done better. That would hurt. And you could see the relief on his face when he scored. He was thankful for the cross, and it was a great ball in. Like Bruyne said there, we were dominant in the second half. It wasn't, if Arsenal would have had to score the second goal early to have any chance of winning that game, and it wasn't to be, and then that was it. Then City just put them to the sword and again accomplished the performance as we've seen in the past.
And the other goal scorer, Phil Foden, of course, assisted that goal for Laporte as well, Paul, but he seemed to really come alive in that second half, and particularly when Bernardo was subbed and he moved into the middle.
Yeah, look, it was fantastic, and every time he plays, but he seems to produce something, whether it's an assist. We've seen him coming off the bench and doing that and starting games, getting his goal tonight. And Brownie's right, it's a great finish, great run, time of the run, and then you've seen his quality with the delivery for the second goal. I'm actually surprised Riyad Mahrez got man of the match. I would have given it to Phil tonight, especially for the second half performance. He's got an assist, he's got a goal, and was sort of central to a lot of attacking stuff, especially when he moved into the middle.
Totally. And we have to talk about, only because it wasn't in the game, VAR, but a couple of incidents. There was arguments maybe that Foden might have been deemed to be offside for that goal. But the one I wanted to mention, Brownie, and we were looking at it, was the challenge on Mahrez. I think it was Gabriel, who came in. We were watching it back here in the studio. If VAR was in play in the game, do you think that maybe would have been brought back for a penalty?
You've got to consider it now, any angle. Once you change the angles and see, once you're gaining an advantage into the box, not necessarily with the feet, so as Gabriel falls with his arms and the top of the body, he's catching and you're knocking off stride. And yeah, you're going to look at these decisions. VAR are there, and we don't always like it. The offside one's been more clinical, more obvious with the lines in the pitch, and that looked very tight. So yeah, no VAR, something different. Sometimes helps you, sometimes it doesn't. It's been quite nice actually to not wait around for it, but we do see the benefits.
It's funny though as well, because I only ask it because I want to ask off you. If the score is at 1-1 and it stays that way, and the whistle goes at full time, and say in another world if Arsenal were then to win on penalties, do you think that people then would be screaming out going, well, that's why we need VAR?
No, I think when you're aware it's not available before the game, it's not a problem. It's
right.
When the inconsistencies come when you have it. When it's not available, just get on with it and play the game. And that was the kind of lucky moments City have needed in recent weeks. Yes, we've seen performances and playing well, and we've seen goalkeepers win man of the match, but that wasn't the case tonight. We had a little bit of luck with the goalkeeper in the second goal. We had a little bit of luck with the decision being onside when it should have been offside. So they're the kind of moments that can just change momentum in seasons, and hopefully now going forward that breeds confidence into City anyway.
Absolutely, and Paul, on that, of course, now we know we've got games on Boxing Day, and then I think we're back on the other side of New Year around the second, especially with another game even squeezed in between there. This is the platform we can be building off now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and we're through in the Cup semi-final. Forget about that now to, I think it's February, March time, and concentrate in the league. Newcastle, Everton in the next two games, and get 6 points there. We're right back in the mix again.
Sensational stuff. All right, mystery blue time. So we showed you this at half time. Have a little ganders, asking you if you could possibly work out who this mystery blue is from this week. We can now reveal. And Joleon, who was your second guess? It was the man himself, Wayne Bridge. It was tough, that one, actually. There we were, behind the camera, put that one together, so pleasantly pleased that it rolled across two shows. You can maybe lay claim to Fabian Elf, but we've just found out through a tweet from David James, he stole the other one from when he was on the show at the weekend. There were two here, and he's got it. He's tweeted from a train, apparently. So, is it there? Thank you, David. All right, well, that's noted. Well,
You're not allowed to touch these elves as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Kids can't touch them. They've got to leave them where they are. So David should know better.
Santa's not coming to see David, is he?
I don't think so. I think there'll be a lot of questions to be asked. I think that's going to be my interview for David when he's back on the show. I'm just going to grill him here in the studio. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you for your insight, Paul. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Joleon. And thank you to all you brilliant people at home. We are wishing you all, from us at Manchester City, a very happy and Merry Christmas. It might not be under usual circumstances, but we do hope you have a lovely one. Treat yourself and put your feet up. And if you really want to laugh, you might want to go stick on Arsenal TV. That's always good fun after an Arsenal loss. So that should bring a smile to an already smiling face. We will be back, of course, for the game of Boxing Day, and we look forward to seeing you then. Have a lovely one and take care.